This was a fantastic move for equality, but their newfound sense of freedom was purchased at an overwhelming cost.
May Allah bless brother Saajid immensely. Make some dua for him when you can, because he was one of the first predominant YouTubers that I've seen that are talking about.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction.
Here we see the husband saying, "Make me a coffee," and the feminist saying, "Make your own coffee." But then we see the boss saying, "Make me a coffee," and she's saying, "Yes, boss. Do you want sugar and milk in it?" Feminism is the idea that women are free when they serve their employers, but slaves when they serve their husband and children. Women's liberation turned women out of their homes and into the workforce. This was a fantastic move for equality, but their newfound sense of freedom was purchased at an overwhelming cost. It was at great spiritual cost that we learned to perceive our value in the balance in our bank, how many degrees or college certificates we possessed, and how many glass ceilings and ladders we could climb, instead of who we are as contributing members of society. Traditional wives do not measure their value in being able to produce monetary income, but in how they can save their family money, how they can produce fine children, and create a loving home which is open all hours.
What are your thoughts on it, bro?
It's sad. It's sad that it's that true. That women go to work and they see that as like, oh, like I'm independent. I make my own money. It's like, no. You are actually not independent. You are dependent of this boss, of this workplace that you work at, and the money that you make from there. Because the moment you get fired, yeah, you ain't that independent anymore. And then they'll say, oh, well, I'll just get unemployment. It's like, okay, but you're not independent if you're accepting unemployment from the government. Like, you are dependent on the government. So it's stuff like that.
Yeah, subhanAllah. I don't even really like the term serve when it comes to your family. Like, a man working to provide for his family is like, I wouldn't even call it serving, you know? Same thing with a wife, you know, doing acts of service for her husband or their, you know, their children. But when it comes to work, that is definitely servitude. That is servitude. You are being paid to do work for that person. And if you don't listen, then you will be basically punished for it. Whether the punishment is temporary leave or fire or termination of employment, whatever it is. At least with your family, if you say no to making your husband coffee, yeah, it's a bit like, okay, be that way. But he's not gonna like fire you, kick you out, like, you know, divorce you for not making a coffee. And what I mean when I say this is that your husband most likely loves and cares about you. Same as your children. So at least when you're doing something for someone or for people that you love you, that you care about, that care about you, and that you actually have a religious responsibility for the husband is in regard to the rest of his family, and for the wife it's mainly in regards to the children, but obviously her husband has rights as well. So well, that's really sad, but living in, and I talk about it a lot, secularism and liberalism and capitalism, living in this liberal and capital society, it's always going to propagate the individual, even if it means making the individual free of the family unit, which is honestly like cutting your legs off, to be honest. It's like cutting the legs of society off. It's honestly atrocious.
I still think it's serving though.
It depends on how you define serving. I'm not saying it's the wrong word to use.
It's not serving like, oh, how we serve Allah. But like, if you think about it, like as humans, the best thing that we can think of is how can we best serve others here. Not in the, like I said, not in the way that we serve Allah, but in that way of like, how can we help?
Yeah. And see, when it's looked at that, it's so beautiful. The problem is serving has such a negative connotation to it now. Like when you say slave, because of what, you know, white people in America did, the term slave, even when it's applied to Islam, is like, oh my God, did you just say that? But slavery in Islam is like not even slavery. Like I refuse to call it that. It's not even slavery. It's because it has such a negative connotation. But yeah, servitude it's not a wrong word at all.
Guys, if you made it this far, comment down below, #brother Saajid. And may Allah bless brother Saajid immensely. Make some dua for him when you can, because he was one of the first predominant YouTubers that I've seen that are talking about these issues that, you know, the old G's like brother Gabriel and brother Abdurrahim McCarthy that they've been talking about, right? You don't see many people talking about that today. right? So when I see Brother Sajid talking about that today, it's very refreshing. Talking about different gender dynamics and talking about hypergamy and different issues and things that not really many people are comfortable talking about. So I do wish that Allah can bless him immensely. I make dua for him immensely, and you guys should too.
Allahumma ameen. Let's inshallah try and get him on, bro. That'd be sick.
Inshallah.
Inshallah,
Bro, so
bro.
what was the rest of the video?
No, that's it, bro.
He was kind of
I
just going
believe it
through.
was a short from his channel.
No, I'm saying like the part that I blinked out. Like what was it entailing?
He was just explaining the repercussions of it and how
Mm.
when a woman in society serves her husband, that's her being free. But when she serves her family, that's her being like
Yeah,
locked.
you think serving, and this is a message to all the women watching that think they're woke and think otherwise. But if you think serving your man and serving your family and really taking care of them makes you oppressed, and working at a job and corporation doesn't make you oppressed, you're wrong. If you think wearing a hijab makes you oppressed and taking it off and liberating yourself, and now being objectified to another standard of society makes you free, think again.
Yeah, yeah, subhanallah. It's sad, but you know, it is what it is. I think the most important question people need to ask themselves with everything is why. Because if you understand why, everything else becomes clear. And I was talking to my sisters about this actually. When you ask why, everything like well, everything changes. That's why, for example, like when you're in school, if someone asks you why are you in school or why do you work, and they answer because I have to, they hate work. You can tell they hate work because they have to be there. The same thing with school and everything else. But when they say, "Oh, I'm going to school because I like to learn, so I can learn about XYZ, so I can get this education, so I can start my career in this field that I'm passionate," and they know why, you know, that person's happy to be there, right? So I think the reason servitude seems so bad is because servitude seems like, oh, you have to. You know, why do you serve your husband? You have to. But it's not because you have to. Why do you serve him? Why the same way he would serve you? Because he loves you, because he has an obligation to take care of you. It's because that, you know, when two people come together and give birth to children, Allah gives them the responsibility of taking care of those children. And a part of taking care of the children is making sure that the unit up top, the two people up top, are good with each other and independently. So this is why you do it. So stop looking at it like, oh, why? Because I have to. And start looking at it and be honest. Why? It's because you have to be a good Muslim. It's because we're Muslims, because we're good people, because we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we want to obey his laws, and we want to live the best life possible. How do you live the best life possible and have the best society? Having the best of individuals and the best of families. And you can't do that if you're serving, you know, someone else to make $14 an hour.
I love that, bro. I love that. And to add to that, part of what comes with obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is realizing and recognizing that Allah has made men and women differently, and understanding that in marriage and in societies we play different roles. And unplugging from this feminist propaganda saying that, oh, men and women are equal, therefore you do the dishes tonight, I'll do it the next night. That's not really how it plays.
Yeah.
Right? We all have different roles, we all have different purposes given by Allah. And I think I'll leave it with that.
Yeah. One thing I want to add. Actually, Anhel, do you have anything to add, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say that if y'all love each other, right? If you're in a relationship, y'all love each other, you do things for the other because you're doing it out of love, because you care for them, you want the best for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I have a wife, I'm gonna take care of her, and I'm sure she will take care of me, and that is me serving her, and that is her serving me. So where's the issue?
Yeah, mashallah. In that case, see, there's absolutely no issue in that case. SubhanAllah. And if I can remember what I was going to say, Bismillah, because I think it's actually kind of related to that. Bismillah. It was
Well,
along the lines.
Yeah.
It was along the lines of working in society. Man, it was
Bro,
a
while
good
you
point
think of
too.
that, I just want to say that maybe one reason that someone might think there's something wrong with what Anhel said is just because how deep his voice is, bro. People might think that they're so subservient to him just hearing his voice, and they're just like, bro, what woman is he oppressing next?
I don't know why, but after that, I remember what I was going to say. Allah.
Allahu
So
Akbar.
think about it. We live in a society where not only, oh my God, women can work. No, women have to work. And that's the main issue. Not that they can, that they have to. Two income society, single motherhood. Women are being forced to work. And when feminism says, you know, why are you a stay-at-home mom? Have you guys seen the reaction that women give or feminists give to women when they say I want to be a stay, like they decide I want to be a stay-at-home mom? They go off like you're oppressed. You guys, what happened to feminism, freedom of the woman's choice, and all that stuff? What happened? The problem is we're now forcing women, pushing women to have to work. And bro, like the very fact that women can give birth should give them the freedom to not have to work, but the permissibility to work if they want to. And that's what Islam gives. That's what Islam brings. If you want to work, you can, but you do not have to. It's on your husband. Because the woman, when it comes to taking care of the children, literally, she's more empathetic because she has more blood flow to certain parts of the brain, literally making her more empathetic, right? Now, empathy is not always the best thing for a child, which is why it has to be balanced out. But my point is, the woman is literally more, like, biologically, psychologically, more capable of taking care of the child in the most efficient manner, while the man is most capable of doing physical labor work and being out there for longer hours and working and all of that, which is why Allah commanded it to be that way. And if the woman wants to work, she can, but the problem is society makes her. And I think that is the most atrocious thing. To take a woman who already has responsibility of a woman and then give her the responsibility of a man. Yeah. Is this equality? Because in that case, I'm chilling, but...
Yeah, but and it's like, just reverse the role, right? If you have a man and a woman, they're together in a marriage, and then the woman takes on the role of the man and the man takes on the role of the woman, number one, the marriage is going to fall apart. But the biggest thing that I want to highlight here is that the woman is going to be real bitter that she's the one putting in all the work and that she's the one that has to do this and provide and take care and do all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, as a man, that's kind of like that's what we have to do, and we can't complain about it. Yeah. So it's like, why would a woman want to do what we're doing, and why would a man want to do what a woman is doing? It's just weird, bro.
These are just things to think about, man. But Rami, end it off.
Yeah. And with that being said, Allahumma atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhab an-nar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Say Bismillah, bro. What are you doing?
Bro, it's in my head, man. Stuff.
Hey, like I think there's another thing too. It's the perseverance aspect too. Like, we're more willing to stick through with things that we set out with an intention.
It's impossible to have empathy for others if you're not patient. So may Allah bless you for that.
First off, I'm gonna agree with the fact that the whole thing you said about friends, where it's like, if they're affecting you more than you're affecting them, then you should probably get some new friends.
You want to be investing in stocks, shares, bonds. You want to be investing in crypto, because there's this thing called inflation, which means every year that passes by, the value of a dollar goes lower and lower and lower. And the reason being is because they're printing more money, right? That's why money is haram. At least the paper money is haram.
Provided that you're actually there and you're being a good father and the mother's being a good mother, best conditions.
And behind the mic, Hamza, Andreas, Zortsis, we will go in with our final three with brother Angel, inshallah.
Inshallah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
It's not just a responsibility on you, it's responsibility on all the children, especially your father.
In our private area is very elastic, and yeah, if you go too fast, the skin will literally crease up into like the edge of like the little clipper things, and you will literally clip your skin. You don't want to be on YouTube or the internet or anything that amount of time, but it's the fact is that's what we're doing.